In this video, I'm going to be trying to survive 100 days of hardcore Minecraft on a Jurassic island. And this isn't a normal island with dinosaurs, because on this island, there are natural disasters like tornadoes and hurricanes. Not to mention, I already have to try not to get eaten by the dinosaurs that roam the island. This is going to be a hard one. So if you do end up enjoying the video, make sure to subscribe. I have one message, and it is, thank you. We have reached over 100,000 subscribers and millions of views on the channel over the course of a couple months. You are making my dreams come true every single day just by pressing a button, so thank you all again. And a massive shout out to all the amazing creators featured in this video. If you want to see them, then you might have to watch the whole video, so without further ado, enjoy. Day 1, I spawned in and there were some new clouds in the sky. It was pretty weird, but I was gonna ignore it because I needed to get my wood tools. I finished breaking the log, then crafted up my wood tools, and then went exploring. That is when I heard some dinosaur noises, and I saw these dinos over here. They didn't look too friendly, and I didn't want to provoke them, and then they started to attack me. I didn't know if they were going to chase after me for too long, but I did keep running, and I looked back and they weren't there anymore. That is when I knew this island would not be easy to survive on, so I grabbed some stone to make some stone tools later, and went exploring a little bit more when I found this guy. I didn't know if this dinosaur would be dangerous or not, so I was trying to get close to him, but without provoking him. I got close to him, but he started moving towards me, and I did not know if he was going to kill me or not, so I ran away and did not want to take the chance of dying. It was about time that I got some stone tools, so I crafted up an axe and a pickaxe. I saw to the right of me a giant storm brewing, so I knew I had to find some cover quick. If the storm was coming, I knew I would need some food to be able to regen, so I killed a chicken and smelted it in my furnace. While I was waiting, I heard the storm brewing and getting larger and larger. And when it hit nighttime, I saw some northern lights pop up in the sky, and it looked really beautiful. I found a sheep and killed it, and then right after that, I saw more dinosaurs. This was the same one from before. I wanted to see if I can get a bit of revenge from it scaring me, and it looked like it was going to sleep, so this would be a perfect opportunity. I attacked it, and then it sprung up, and I noticed that it wasn't alone, and before I could even think, the dino blinded me. I had some blocks in my inventory, so I started to block up and see if I could be safe from them. I was waiting up here for the blindness to go away, but out of nowhere, I was knocked off of it, and then I had to run away while I was still being blinded. And the blindness made me slower, so it was harder to run away. And after waiting on this tree, the blindness finally went away and I could see everything. The dinos were on the beach, and there were zombies chasing after me, so I decided to block up and wait out the night. But waiting the night's pretty boring, so I decided to go out adventuring more, and this proved to be a mistake, because this skeleton got me to half a heart. Now I knew it was time to wait out the night, so I blocked up again and waited. I broke free on the morning of day 2, and I went to see if I could find some food. And luckily, I didn't have to look for too long. I went through and killed all the cows and then went back to my hidey hole to cook the meat and regen. These guys were still on the beach and I really wanted to get my revenge, but he rose up and I kinda got scared, so I retreated back. I knew that if I wanted to kill any dinosaurs that I would need a lot of blocks, so I went and mined a lot of wood from this tree. I'd gotten more than enough logs, but I wanted to do some actual mining to get iron armor because these dinosaurs were super strong, and the more armor I had, the better. This cave was awesome because I got a ton of iron, a ton of coal, and a bunch of other resources. I was mining this lapis when I found a diamond. I found a diamond on day 2, so this was already a good start. But before I could actually mine that diamond, I would need to make an iron pickaxe, so I set up a furnace and cooked all the iron that I needed, made myself a pickaxe, and then went to mine the diamond, and it was actually 2 diamonds. I still needed a full set of iron armor, so I finished that up by day 3 and went back to the surface. It was nighttime and I saw something. I saw a tail and it was pretty big. I was trying to sneak around to get a better look at the thing, and I noticed some more dinosaurs over there. I'd gotten to look around the corner when I saw what it was. It was a T-Rex, and these things can one-shot you in full diamond armor, so I had to leave quickly before it noticed me. And in the morning, I came back around and noticed that it was devouring all the dinosaurs around it. I definitely want to kill one of these things. For now, I had to leave it alone because I would not stand a chance against it. I found some dinosaurs that I would stand a chance against, and I decided to bully them. They looked pretty weird, and they had like an egg-shaped thing on the top of their head, but I can't go 2 seconds without a skeleton shooting me in the back. I found a parrot and tried to give it some seeds, but it wouldn't budge. I even came back with more seeds, and it still wouldn't love me, so I tried one on another parrot, and it didn't love me either. I left the parrots and continued exploring around the island. I found some flint, and I made myself a flint and steel because I feel like that'd be useful for later. I was just running when I found these little dinosaurs and they started to attack me. I could barely hit the things because their hitboxes were tiny, so these were pretty hard to kill. Eventually, I did kill them, but it did take a fair bit of time. It was getting pretty dark out, so I decided to make a little hole and wait out the night. I was running around the island the next morning, and I was just minding my own business when out of nowhere, I see a creeper and it just started to blow up. That surprised me. I was standing near a tree when I realized a lot of the storms are coming from the top of that volcano. Anyways, I ignored it and then went back to organizing my whole inventory because it was kinda messy. I got my inventory how I'd like it, and I found another one of these dinosaurs, and it was asleep, so I attacked it immediately. The dinosaur of course did not like this and shot one of its poison beam things at me that blinded me, but I could still see it and I was able to take it out. I wanted to see if something up here was the purpose behind all those storms attacking the island, so I climbed the mountain to see. The closer I got, the more windy it was towards the top. I looked up there and it didn't seem like there was anything, but I swear there was something going on up here. I'll check back in a couple of days. But when I was walking down the island, a new storm started to emerge from the top of the volcano. Clearly something didn't want me up there. This was the worst storm of them all, because there were sheets of rain and really strong winds. So strong, I had to go find cover underneath this tree because I didn't want to die from the storm. What is going on up there? Whatever, I need to find shelter. This tree should do. I decided to choose the tree for my hiding spot because the wind didn't affect it as much. But little did I know that this storm lasted for days. And on day 6, the storm started to get way closer to me. Luckily I had the tree so it wouldn't sweep me into the ocean and kill me. Man, this thing's getting closer. It was getting closer and closer, so I had nothing to do but to retreat. It's kind of ironic because I retreated under a tree. I waited out the storm, and on the nighttime of day 7, it seemed like the storm was gone. So I went around exploring a little more. I found some dinosaurs on the swamp and got to half a heart from a witch. So not the best day. I got fully healed up and went back to the swamp to see those dinosaurs. These dinosaurs had spikes all over them, so I probably shouldn't have attacked them because they did a lot of damage. I had to resort to using my shield to block, and the other one was after me too at this point. I got down to 3 hearts and one more hit would have finished me off there, so I ran away back to my house, and the thing was still chasing after me. These things were fast. But luckily, I had built up enough health to withstand one more attack, so I went in for the kill. The thing was still trying to attack me, and I used my shield and finally finished it off. You were sure a hard one to kill, weren't you? And the dinosaur that I had killed was called a Hawaiiangosaurus. These things are super rare, but they also are a good source of food, so I went back and killed the other one to grab all of its meat. I placed down some more furnaces and killed all of the Hawaiiangosaurus because this would be my main food source. Well, for at least a couple days. I would need some shelter ASAP, so I started to collect some wood from the nearby trees and turning all that into planks and slabs. My idea for my house would be something really high up so that I wouldn't have to deal with the tall dinosaurs. So of course the thing I picked was a treehouse. I wanted a cool balcony style treehouse with an open design. Luckily this tree was massive, so this worked out pretty good. Plus I could hollow out the inside of the tree to make it multiple stories. And that's exactly what I did. I placed some ladders just so I could make it up to a second story. I found some more dinosaurs the next day, and I wasn't really prepared because I didn't really have an axe anymore, so I decided to use my diamonds and turn them into a diamond sword. Now I could go absolutely destroy these new types of dinosaurs. I thought this one would give me a good fight, but it really didn't. It just spun around. I spotted some sheep on the hillside, so now I can finally make a bed. I'd also picked up an orange flower, and since orange is my favorite color, I made myself an orange bed. If orange is your favorite color, leave a comment. Now it was time to get started on the second story of the treehouse. I was happy with the second story, but I still needed to get a lot more resources for my build. I was mining down and I broke into this cave. It was pretty massive and it had a lot of resources. While I was down there, I gathered a ton more iron and some more iron after that. These caves were filled with everything. There was tons of redstone, emeralds, coal, everything. My pickaxe was basically broken, so I had to find my way back up to the surface to smelt some of the iron that I had to make some new pickaxes. It was late, so I admired the stars before going to bed. I woke up to a lot of smelted iron, so I could finally make some of the tools that I needed. I was able to craft a pickaxe and an axe. We can't forget about the shears because I would use these to clear a lot of leaves. Not just leaves, but a lot of logs and fence posts too. Alright, now I gotta move all of these chests upstairs. Let's be honest, no one likes organizing their whole inventory and their whole space. And I didn't want to climb back down, so I did a water clutch. If I had fell, that could have been the end of me. Nevertheless, I prevailed and had to finish up the back of the deck. This was not very big, so I had to expand it a lot more. I finished up the shape of the deck when I found this guy. A T-Rex sitting out in front of my base. I went to see if I had anything that I could shoot at it, and I had some arrows, and I had a bow in this chest back here, so I went to see if I could kill it. I fired a couple shots at it, and it didn't seem like it was doing anything to this T-Rex. I went to go get up close and personal with the thing. I had a shield, even though it was pretty low, and a diamond sword. I was still weary though because I had to keep some distance because I didn't want this thing to charge at me and destroy everything. I'd gotten on top of this tree when I looked at it and I said no. This thing was definitely gonna kill me. It was definitely not worth it. Yeah, maybe I'll try again tomorrow. It would be really nice if a storm took that thing away. Hopefully it'll be gone in the morning. And of course it wasn't. The thing was still there and I didn't know how to get rid of it. But I still wanted to build up way more to this treehouse, so I made a third story and I went through and placed some fences on the side of it so I wouldn't fall off. I was working on clearing out this tree when I noticed that there was another storm coming from the top of the volcano. What was happening back there? It kept getting worse and worse and worse, and it was just staying up there for the time being. I didn't want to wait out the storm for too long, so I tried to see if I could get some work done on the house. It was pretty risky because the tornado could blow me off at any time and kill me, but it didn't look like the storm was going to slow down anytime soon. On day 23, it finally went away, and I could do some more work on the house. There was a lot of logs that I had to break, so I had to think up a smarter method to destroy them all, and arson works pretty great. Good news, I only set myself on fire one time. And even more good news, another storm rolled in. Where are all these storms coming from? Aren't these things supposed to be rare? I found some dinosaurs over here and they looked like they were about to maul everything. These things were super fast and I could barely hit them. The bird looking dinosaurs are always the worst because they're super fast and you can barely hit them, but they all can hit you. Come on, let me hit you. Just die please. I left those dinosaurs on half health, so I had to retreat. I also got to witness this guy getting suffocated in a block. This storm was roaring, and I wanted to see what was going on, so I climbed to the top of the volcano. It was actually pretty icy up here, and the wind was pushing me up a lot of blocks. But when I got to a certain point, I couldn't go up anymore. And I felt like it wasn't just the storm that was stopping me. The storm picked me up and started bouncing me up and down. It was really weird, but it also looked pretty cool. The storm threw me down the mountain. I got a water bucket ready to water clutch. I missed, but I didn't take any fall damage. I guess I was going down too slow. I had to make it back to the house quick, because if I didn't find shelter, then I would be caught in the eye of the storm and die. Why is there only dinosaurs being swept up and moved to the top of the volcano? I think I'm gonna have to wait this one out too. After 2 days of trying to wait out the storm, it sucked me in. Luckily, it brought me into the water where it was harder to pull me up, but it was still pulling me up out of the sky, and I couldn't do anything about it. I was only a couple blocks from the epicenter of this thing. I felt it. I really hope I don't die, but this is also kind of fun. I eventually broke free from the storm and tried to climb up these ladders, and it was surprisingly hard. And by nightfall, the storm had finally gone away. In celebration of this, I decided to go mining to get some more ores and things like that. I picked up some redstone and some lapis, and after fighting this zombie, I found some diamonds. Well, I guess it was only one, but I can't complain. Later, while mining some redstone, I found a diamond right underneath that. That ended off my mining trip, but I got super lost and finally found my way out on day 36. I woke up and then I saw a ton more dinosaurs on the beach. These were all of different breeds that I haven't seen before, so I made myself a shield before I went down to attack them. I started with this little guy. I didn't think he would put up much of a fight, but he actually did, so I had to use my shield for some of it. I have no idea what these dinosaurs are called, but they actually didn't fight back, so it was pretty easy food. The little ones were always the ones to attack me, and the bigger ones really didn't. With that killing spree, I had gotten a lot of food for a long time, so I smelted it up in my furnaces and then went to bed. Day 38, I needed some wood to make the treehouse look a lot better because it looked like crap right now. So I went through and basically mined up the whole forest. I then got to work on making the whole treehouse supports and making it look a lot better. Now this is starting to look like an actual treehouse, and I'm pretty happy with it, but I still do need to do a couple more things to it, which one of them is to add glass, so I need sand, but to get sand I have to make it past these guys. This is a giant dinosaur and it came charging right at me. I used my shield to block its attacks. The shield is so useful, and then it wasn't attacking for a sec, so I used my sword to hit it. Whenever it attacked, I used my shield, and then after a couple of hits I killed it. I stared at its dead body and then started to mine some sand. I got a couple stacks of sand and then I started to smelt them in the furnaces. I took the glass from the furnaces and started to place it around the top floor, avoiding the branches before going to bed. The next day when I woke up, there was a massive storm, so I decided to play it safe and avoid it. But what I didn't know was that the storm would last 3 days. So on day 46, the storm was gone and I left the treehouse to find some new dinosaurs. I started to attack the dinosaur while he was asleep because he was on my property and just lying down. But this thing did put up a fight, so I had to use my shield to kill it. And there were still 2 more on the hillside. I knew fighting these would be way harder because there was 2 of them, and these things did a ton of damage. But in combination with my shield and my sword skills, I was able to finish both of them off. Very narrowly, might I add. There was a lot of dinosaurs, so I spent the rest of day 46 killing off all of them. Day 47, I took a bunch of my logs and turned them all into planks so I could make a bunch of chests. I brought those chests to the bottom floor so I can make a cool chest room to put all of my stuff, like all the bones I've collected from the dinosaurs. I wanted to go mining to get full diamond everything, just finally get it all out of the way, so I made 2 pickaxes and went mining. I found a bunch of iron while I was down there, and some emeralds, which was cool, a good amount of coal, some gold, even more lapis, and of course diamonds. That was a lot of diamonds. And it didn't stop there. These caves were so rich in ores, it was crazy, because I found even more diamonds right after that. It was a lot of them. And right around the corner from that, I was collecting gold when I found even more diamonds. And it was a lot of them too. And I got everything that I needed to get a full set of diamond armor. I emerged from the caves and then I found these dinosaurs right here. They immediately ran at me and I did not know what to do. These things did a lot of damage for how small they were. This one right here was insane. I got wrecked by it for a lot, and it jumped super high and did a jump attack on me. Okay, I do not want to run into that type of dinosaur. But the job wasn't over because there was still one left, so I healed up before I went to attack it. It appeared to be asleep, so I hit it, and then it woke up and immediately jumped on me. I just remembered what these things were. They were velociraptors. No wonder they were so deadly. It took me the whole day to get around the island and actually find my house. I was so relieved I found it that I went straight to bed. I'd opened the crafting menu to craft my diamond armor when I found all of these things I could craft. It was a bunch of different swords and battle weapons, and it was crazy. I made some handles and some other things so I could finally craft something. I decided to craft the best weapon, the greatsword. This thing had insane range and it looked crazy. I finished admiring that and made my diamond armor. I only could make 3 of the pieces because I did use a lot on the sword, but I also made a pickaxe. I went to look for dinos to test my sword on, and I found more velociraptors. I guess this would be a good test, but these things are pretty deadly. Alright, sword, let's see how good you are. Okay, definitely worth the diamonds. I also got to test it on one of the dinosaurs that almost killed me last time. And of course, it completely decimated the thing. To end off a great day, I went straight to bed. I forgot that I said I would check back up on the volcano in a few days, so I smelted some food and climbed the mountain, and you wouldn't believe what I saw.
Man, I hate those things running around. I've been trying to kill them off for so long now. Oh, I wonder if there's anything else I could try.
I had no idea what that person was talking about, but he was sitting in the middle of the volcano, and that's where most of the storms were coming from, so I was curious on what was going on. When I was running around the next day trying to find any clues for anything, it was a giant storm and I could barely get around things. The storm had pushed me into a block and I started to suffocate, and the suffocation almost killed me. I got to less than half health. This was a crazy wicked storm. I found a nearby cave and decided to seek shelter in there and wait the storm out. This had to have been the worst storm I'd ever seen, so I decided to go mining in the meantime while I waited it out. I found diamonds, which was awesome, but what was that big guy doing up there, and what was he talking about? I needed to find answers, but right now the storm was way too deadly to go outside. I waited it out until I couldn't hear anything, and the storm was gone the same day. And I found a whole new dinosaur. This thing was as big as the T-Rex, almost bigger I think. And of course the skeleton out of nowhere shoots me. I had to kill the skeleton really fast, and then I set my targets on this thing. I'd previously noticed that this couldn't get to me because I was standing behind this giant tree, so I used it to my advantage. This dinosaur did a lot of damage, and I feel like it could one-tap me if I didn't have any armor on. But with the combined efforts of my sword and food to regen, I was able to finally finish the beast. I made my way back home and went to bed. My goals for these couple days were to find any clues on the island god, but when I was trying to go this way, there were 3 T-Rexes right there and I shook my head no and then left. And after searching the island for a couple days, I didn't find anything. So I went right back up to where I found him last to see if he was there. I was ready for a fight, but I peeked my head over and looked and I couldn't find him. But I was on a mission. I wanted to make an enchanting table so I could fight this guy. So I gathered up some obsidian up there and went right back home to make an enchanting table. And I had some extra diamonds, so I went to see what other things I could make. I made myself a diamond javelin. This thing looks super cool and it's a throwable, so that'll help with long distance attacks. I wanted to enchant a lot of things, but first I needed some sugarcane. I got that, and then the next day I started to go out and grab some stone. I'll use this to make a nice fence all around the property to hopefully protect me from the storms. I wasn't gonna go too crazy with this, but I did want it to be a couple blocks tall and look pretty decent all the way around the tree. The main thing I was going for was aesthetics, and I think I achieved that because it does look pretty good all the way around. The property was still looking pretty rough, so I had some landscaping to do. I grabbed dirt from where I could, and I filled the holes to make the space look a lot better. Now that the property was looking better, I could sleep easy. But I did have to light it up so that no mobs would spawn, so I grabbed a bunch of torches and lit the whole area up. While I was doing that, I found my favorite dinosaur. The really tall, nice herbivore ones that won't try and kill me. I was finally happy I was able to see these kind. Because these kind are the ones I kinda wanna see, but I also don't wanna die too. Yeah, 3 T-Rexes right next to each other is not the best thing. I found this lava pool and grabbed some obsidian from it and said hi to the big tall boys. I think I'll name them Tallboy 1 and Tallboy 2. Their necks really do help them reach the top of trees. I went to sleep, woke up, and then built my nether portal. It looks pretty weird, but it will help for experience when I'm doing a lot more enchanting. I did get some basic enchants on the tools I don't really care about, like my regular sword and other stuff. I wanted to fight this T-Rex so badly, and he was right there staring at me. I crept closer, and he started to charge at me. It was do or die. I had to fight this thing. I had a shield, so I knew I'd be okay, but if he did hit me, then I might die. Not to mention this thing is super scary, and its attack patterns are super random. I kept using my shield most of the time because I did not want to get hit by this thing. And the one time I let go of my shield, this happened. I got less than half health, but I was able to kill the thing. I was so proud of myself. That was a hard battle, so I think you should subscribe. After losing my javelin in this stupid way that I'm not going to show you guys, I made some boomerangs and they were super fun to throw around. They did a surprisingly good amount of damage and they were just way cooler. I think I'd be pretty happy if Minecraft added these into the game. Comment if you would want these in the game too. I then went back up to the volcano because there was another massive storm up there and I found something.
Why are you back here?
Wait, what happened to your voice? You sound a little funny.
You dare disrespect me?
Why have you been sending all these storms?
I need time to gather energy.
Gather energy for what? Changing your voice again?
Now leave!
Whatever, you didn't have to be that rude. I didn't know if I should consider this guy an enemy or a foe. I didn't know what he was plotting. But I guess I was on his land, so I didn't really have much of a choice in the matter. I would like less storms though. Whatever, I grabbed some sugarcane and as I was running back, there was another giant storm. This guy is really mean. What is he trying to achieve up there? I have no idea. I got back close to my house and there was a storm right there. I did not want my dinosaurs to be swept up into it. These were the boys, you know? I got up to check where the storm was at and my dinosaur friend was starting to die. And it wasn't from the storm, it was from something else. So I water clutched down there, almost died, and went over to help him. But when I came over there, he was dead. Rest in peace, man. I avenged him by taking out whatever this plant creature was and made sure that the other dinosaur wouldn't be attacked. I went to sleep and checked on the storm the next day, and something was getting sucked up into it. I think it was a creeper. I went to go check to see if the dinosaur hadn't been taken away yet. I looked by for 2 seconds and he was being swept up into the storm. No! From that point forward, I knew I had to kill the island god. He's the one who did this. I had to get my mind off my loss, so during the storm, I decided to make a sugarcane farm so I could start growing some for my enchanting table. I saw the tree where my old friend was and had past memories, so I decided to take a sign and dedicate it to him. Rest in peace, tall boy. And we can't forget about the other dinosaur. Rest in peace, tall boys. While the sugarcane was growing, I went around the island killing cows for their leather. This was a process which took many days and a lot of circling around the island. And that should do it. Wait, I think I see more cows. That should do it. That gave my sugarcane ample time to grow, but I still needed, I think, one more round of it. I also collected a lot of wood because I would need it to build the bookshelves. I came back mid-storm, and with all the cow meat that I had gotten, I decided to cook it all up in the furnaces. And after a few days of waiting, the sugarcane finally grew, and now I had to take out these pesky plant things. I harvested all the sugarcane up that I had let grow. I turned all those into paper and made a bunch of bookshelves to get level 30 enchants. Now I just had to enchant a bunch of my things. I got protection 3 on breaking through on my chestplate, which is very good. And then I used the nether to get a lot of XP. My plan was to go back into the nether, grab 30 levels, go back, enchant my stuff, like with Fire Aspect 2 for this sword. Go back, grab 30 levels, enchant more again, like protection 3, etc, etc. I repeated this process a lot over the course of a lot of days, but I did get some amazing enchants like protection 4 on the boots, and after the whole process was done, I had protection 4 on my helmet and protection 3 on everything else, and some great enchants on my sword. I would need this if I was going to avenge all my dino friends. I was thinking about what the island god said, and I had to look for some clues, so I went out boating. And I found this new island. There were a lot of dinosaurs on it, like these bird things that were super fast and were immediately trying to kill me. These things were crazy fast, and it was really hard to hit them, but I did kill this guy. I ventured further into this little island when I found a T-Rex. It was guarding my path, so I had to take it out. It stood up when I got closer, and I was still scared, but I did go in for the kill. Man, its roar is intimidating. Alright, I had to go in. My flame sword was doing a lot of damage and it only hit me once. And it wasn't killing me right now, so I was able to get a lot of hits in. And just like that, it died. That was a lot easier than the last time. It was guarding a destroyed house, which looked like all the storms ruined it. There was a chest, so I opened it up and there were some things inside, but there was a book and quill and it read,
If anyone ever reads this, there's something I need to tell you. The island god is charging energy to summon an asteroid attack on the planet. I have run out of time and I fear I cannot stop it. I leave it to you. Stop him.
So the island god was trying to wipe out all the dinosaurs. That's what he meant by charging up energy. I have to go avenge my friend right now before he wipes out the whole planet. I got back to the volcano and then a boss bar appeared on the screen. It looks like he was charging up energy right now. I had to go over where I could see him and get to him. And he already started throwing attacks my way, like these laser beams that I was able to dodge. I then stood face to face with the guy who killed my best friend. I need to get closer. I used my water bucket to go across the lava to get closer to him.
This time I will finish the job. I almost have enough energy to proceed with my plans.
I can't let you wipe out all of the dinosaurs.
I will not let you stop that from happening.
I couldn't get to him, so I went back to grab some blocks so I could build up. I was coming back with the blocks when he summoned his minions on me and shot a ton of energy beams at me. These things were doing a great job of blocking me from getting to him. And they were setting me on fire along with his energy beams. It was going to be super hard to get to him. I found a space where I could block up, but he kept knocking me off with his energy beams. And there were more minions coming my way. The sun god had already gotten me to half health. I retreated, healed back, and came back with some more blocks to get up. Will you please just die? He then blatantly laughed straight at my face and knocked me off my tower, so it was going to be hard to get back up again. I still remembered who he took from me, so I had to kill him. But getting to him was becoming a real issue, and it seemed like I never had enough blocks. His minions were annoying, and his energy beams kept knocking me off. I came back with more blocks, I got higher up, but then he knocked me off again. I got up, and with my sword I had actually landed a couple hits on him, and the flames were doing a lot of damage. Before I could even land any more hits, he knocked me off again. I got my blocks up and started to build up, but I realized I only had one more and he knocked me off. Plus, I was on half health again. I retreated to grab more blocks, but when I came back, he was floating into the sky. I think he succeeded. I failed. And if that wasn't enough, on day 100, I was forced to bear witness to the extinction of all the dinosaurs. I may have made it to day 100, but I really lost. In the end, I made it to day 100. I completed the challenge, but I felt like I lost. Anyways, I do hope you guys did enjoy that video. I hope you enjoyed all the YouTuber collabs. So if you want to see more YouTuber collabs, then subscribe so I can get more clout. Make sure to leave a comment on what you thought about the video. And of course, a massive shout out to A Cookie God, Butter Jaffa, Mudflaps, and Coffee Fuel Genius.